Hi, you guys. Welcome back to Lexi in Case. I cannot explain how I have been trying to go back to my last video that I made a couple days ago. Well, a couple days ago, about a week ago, whatever. The most recent video that I have on this channel about this couch in my room. I made one tonight. And then I was going through it because I sometimes will rewatch the videos if I'm like, or like, whatever. I made a video tonight while I was cooking dinner, and I was rewatching it to make sure, one, you could hear me while I was cooking because I was cooking meat. And I had mentioned in that video that you will never see that my apartment hates it when I cook meat. So if I cook meat, because when you cook meat, you cook it on a high heat. That's how you cook meat. But my apartment seems to think that I'm going to die and that my apartment is on fire. So I had to pause everything. I had to go open my sliding glass door. I had to turn on a fan, and I had to turn on the vent over the stove because I was cooking meat. So when I went back and unpaused the video to resume talking about whatever I was talking about, all you could hear is just the vent. Because obviously when I'm in my kitchen and I'm vlogging, you guys go in one of my cabinets where my cups or my mugs are. I kind of just flip-flop between the two depending on what side of the stove I'm working on when I cook dinner and or breakfast. So tonight, during that part, you guys were in my mug cabinet, which is right next to, the vent itself to my microwave. And it was so loud that I could hear myself, but it was just so annoying. And then obviously I was cooking meat and pasta at the same time. So I'm like, this isn't going to go well for me. So I'm going to tell you guys the story about this damn couch so I can post it and carry on with my life, because this, I think, is the second video that I made. This is the third one that I'm doing as of right now. This is the third time that I've tried to tell this story, because I felt like the first video that I made, which you're never going to see, was just like digging into my personal, way too much, and I was trauma dumping, and I didn't want to do that. And then the video from tonight, where you couldn't even hear me talk about what I wanted to talk about because I was cooking. So I'm sitting on my bed. I'm sitting in my room. I have no other distractions. I'm going to tell you the story about this couch. So the reason why the couch is in our room is because obviously you guys have seen my tour of my apartment that we're currently living in. And we actually recently just swapped the layout from that video. So the couch was on the opposite wall. When you first walk in, you see the couch when you first walk in. So our couch was out in our living room. We have 4 cats. We don't know if it's all of them. We don't know which one it is. We have our suspicions of which ones it was. But one of the cats kept peeing and pooping on our couch. So we finally were like, okay, this is getting really strange. We can't sit on our couch anymore because it just reeks of piss. We need to wash these cushions. So we wash the cushions. We put them in our office. We go and get a plastic cover for them. We get 2 of them from Walmart. We put one over them. The cats continued to pee all over the couch with the plastic cover on it. So we're thinking, okay, what the heck? So I'm like, whatever. We're going to figure this out. Flash forward a couple of weeks, we pretty much leave the tarp on there. I'm like, they're just going to continue to pee on the tarp regardless on if we change it out or not. So we're just going to keep it there. So every time that you would walk in, you would see a plastic covered couch with pee stains all over the plastic on my couch, which is not a good look for anybody coming over, but I have no one coming over at my house. So, flash forward a couple weeks after that, we have the cushions washed and dried and sitting in our office. I go in there to do something, and I unstack all of them to like kind of lay down because I really missed like sitting on my couch and laying down on my couch, to the point where I noticed something on the top of the two bottom ones because they were stacked up on top of each other in like a tower formation, that I called Case in and I said, "Hey, what is this?" And Case came in and told me that it was mold. So we had like a spray, we sprayed it down, he vacuumed it, and then we put it in the dryer, like all three of them, like the cushions, not at the same time, of course, because they're massive. But we did one at a time, put them back in the dryer, dried them. Like we did like 3 different times of drying them. Like I just kept going and starting the dryer over and over and over and over and over again until I'm like, okay, they're dry. I put them back on the couch and I put another plastic cover over it. And guess what these cats do, you guys? They go and they poke holes in the plastic covering for the first time ever, because they didn't do it with the last one that was on the couch. But because we put the cushions back on the couch after like re-cleaning them and drying them after the mold, we put the cover back over. They were poking holes in the plastic and then peeing on the couch where the holes were. So not only did we have poked holes in our cover, but we also have to now rewash the cushions again. So at that point, I'm like, you know what? I'm tired. I can't deal with this. I came up with the idea one morning when we were sitting on the balcony having breakfast. I said, why don't we just put the couch in our room? Because we don't let the cats in our room, since they decide that they want to pee all over my bed, and I have to continuously spray my bed down and wait for it to dry and wash all of my things on my bed. And yes, I know, you're supposed to wash your sheets after a certain amount of time, but it's frustrating when I wash these sheets and my cats come into my bed and they hang out and then they pee all over my nice new clean sheets that I cleaned like that day or the next day or a week later. They just decide that they want to go and pee on my bed. So it gets a little frustrating. Okay, so we decided that we're not going to have our cats in the room. They've been out of our room for the past like a month and a half, 2 months now. So, and it's been so nice. Don't be wrong, I miss snuggling up with my babies, but it's so nice to have my own space that Alice or Lady or Sully or Loki aren't taking up for the two of us, so we can actually finally sleep. And then we sleep in because we don't have cats at 5 a.m. screaming at us to feed them. Sorry, my hair. I can see my hair in my phone and it drives me nuts when it just pokes out. So, yeah. So we had to rewash the cushions. We literally like stuck the couch through the tiny ass little door hallway opening that we have to our room, shoved it in here, and put it in our room, and it's been in our room for a while. But yeah. So, and now Alice and Sully have to eat their special food again because of their UTIs. I had mentioned that in the video from tonight that I was going to post, and it was pretty much like Sully hasn't been having like any problems with his UTI or anything, but we keep him on the food just to be safe. While Alice is more active right now. So I have to be I'm feeding her twice a day. I'm only feeding Sully once a day. So like in the mornings, I give Alice a cup. She eats it. I let her out. She kind of hangs out for the day. And then at night, when I feed the other 3, or all 4 of them, I should say, when I feed all 4 of them, Sully and Alice will go in the bathroom together and eat the same food, and then Loki and Lady will eat the same food outside of the bathroom. And that's 2 different foods, by the way. Also in tonight's video that I was going to post, I talked about how I sprained my ankle, and it was essentially, I went to go see Bernadette Peters here in Vegas with my family. We were outside of a Del Taco after having dinner, and I went to go do like a really cute pose with my long dress that I had on and my heels, that I was going to stick my right leg out in like my arms and like be super cute and crazy. And I lost my footing on my left foot. My left foot like just gave up on me. I twisted my left ankle, landed on it in the pavement, like on the road, essentially, in the parking lot, and I blacked out. And it was terrifying. Yeah, that's pretty much all that was in this video, besides the fact that I was cooking dinner you couldn't hear what I was saying. I had to keep pausing because I moved from one cabinet to the other, and then I paused again because I had to go, like, open up my apartment to air it out in case my smoke alarm decided that they wanted to go off for whatever reason. And now I'm here. Just making the same video, sitting in my pajamas, on my bed, in my room, finally talking about this couch and talking about pretty much anything that I talked about in my video from tonight. So that's pretty much it. That's literally it. But yeah, I talked a little bit about our trip that's coming up in June. As much as I would love to film and vlog everything, it's gonna be Case and I, and like just the two of us most of the time that we're out there. If not the entire time that we're out there, it's just the two of us. But I respect my husband's privacy of not wanting to be filmed as much anymore. So if he's okay with it, then cool. If he's like, no, I don't want to, then I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna vlog. And like he'll kind of just be in the background, kind of. Like he wouldn't be like right here next to me talking at the same time or like on camera as much. You would just probably be just his voice, if we're all being honest. Because I respect my husband's privacy as much as he wants me to. So he says no, no means no. I can't force that. But I would still like to vlog our trip because it's fun. And I've done multiple trips, like, not multiple trips, but I did, like, I filmed Greece. I was a junior in high school when I filmed that series. I went on a cruise. That was the summer in between my junior and senior year that I did that one. So that's in there. But it's like I don't have another trip, like, playlist on there. And I thought, hey, June would be a really fun playlist. We're going to be on the road. We're going to be seeing all the sights. Like, it'd be super fun and super cute. And it'd be really cool. I'm still going to try my best to vlog. If I don't vlog on the trip, then I will definitely be vlogging after the trip. But of course, if you aren't on the Instagram, I'm posting pictures on the Instagram from our trip. So if I don't vlog the actual trip, there are at least going to be pictures. So no one freak out or anything. But yeah, that was pretty much like the extent of the video that I made like 4 hours ago that I was deciding to post right now. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just hop on, spend a couple of minutes talking about literally everything that I talked about in that video and then carry on with life. So yeah, here we are. And I'm super tired. I'm exhausted. If you can't tell, I'm very sleepy. Case is going to be home here in a second from work. So with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you guys. Love you.